Hello comrades, my name is Fritz and welcome back to F1 Challenge 99 to 02 and welcome to Germany for qualifying for the German Grand Prix and welcome of course to the Hockenheim ring. Nestled in the heart of the Heidelberg Forest in Germany, the Hockenheim ring has been the home of the German Grand Prix since 1977 and what a track it is, at least in this iteration. Now you may notice immediately that we're having a slightly different change of scene for the next few episodes. I'm trying out a new cockpit view that comes as standard with the game. Instead of riding up on the T-bar, we are now sat really low in the cockpit here with Alessandro Zanardi in his Williams Formula 1 car. Now this should give us better visibility out of the rearview mirrors here. You can actually look left and right, which is quite useful, and you couldn't really make use of that in the T-bar view because you couldn't really look through your mirrors from that angle. So yeah, here we are, and we've got the car dialed in for qualifying. I qualified about 7th, seventh in free practice 4. Ralf Schumacher, our teammate, was 5th. We do have to beat him in this race because he is only 3 points behind us in the World Championship standings. Now, we're going to hope to redeem ourselves at this particular race weekend because, much like Adolf Hitler, we've had a disastrous outing in Austria in the last race. We crashed out on, I think, 2 or 3 laps before the end, which was bitterly disappointing. We got the final corner a little bit wrong and then we ended up scooting into the barriers backwards and damaged our suspension unit. As we get that a little bit wrong, we're going to run back onto the asphalt, no damage done. This is, after all, only an outlet. We just can't afford to make that mistake in future. Now this particular part of the track is still around. It was made permanent in the 2002 iteration of this circuit. The long twisty circuit through the forest has been run since 1965, although not for the World Championship Formula 1 events, but it's been around for quite a while. And as I said, I think it was 1977 that the Formula 1 Grand Prix came to Germany. It was promptly won by Niki Lauda in the Ferrari, following the previous year's German Grand Prix where he suffered third-degree burns after crashing out at the Nürburgring, the very dangerous Nürburgring, what drivers refer to it rather affectionately, obviously, as you'll see, as the green hell, no doubt. There were a lot of fatalities there, about 5 or 6 fatalities in fact, especially when cars came over the crest in pretty much permanent fog and hit the guardrail very hard and more often than not burst into flames. Anyway, we look like we're doing okay. It's a bit scrappy into this second chicane, but nothing we can't salvage at the moment. Split time looking good at 54 seconds. Not sure how that's going to compare quite so much to the other drivers. Häkkinen is out on the circuit. I saw him go past as I was warming up to record, and we were sitting in the garage. We'll see what time he posts. He'll go through in a few moments' time, no doubt, and hopefully we can qualify in about the 1:49, which I think is a good benchmark. That saying, the track might have evolved since free practice 4, and we might be looking at 1:47s for this particular session. Anyway, we're about to find out. Pedro Della Rosa at 1:54. He's one of the back markers in the Minardi, so it looks like it could be maybe 1:48 for this session. We'll have to wait and see. Coming over the crest, leave the braking as late as possible, or brake before the crest, but you do end up losing more time that way. The car does get very skittish on the entrance to that corner. 1:47, okay, it's a lot faster than I would have imagined. Going to be a bit braver into this turn 1. We had a bit of a moment on the exit we had to correct, but looking better this time. Our split time needs to drop down to 1:36 odd, because that was what we were matching in free practice 4. Let's have another couple of laps and we'll see where this gets us. Hard on the brakes, brake at the 100, don't be too cautious. Whoa, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe we did need to be a bit cautious after all. The backhand just snaps away from it. Snap oversteer, that's called, when you unload the rear of the car coming in to that chicane and the rear end just tries to overtake the front. Really not ideal indeed we are. We've only actually lost 2 seconds, which is quite impressive. We did a very Mansell-esque donut on the exit to that chicane. Braking nice and tight into this one. Not quite as fast on the exit as we were last time, but you know, this lap is done for anyway. The fate of this particular lap is sealed for good. And peeking out above the monocoque of this Williams Formula 1 car, you can really see how low the drivers sit in these this kind of new generation Formula 1 racing machines. I say new generation, this is 1999. So, you know, game-wise it's fairly similar, well, spec-wise fairly similar. I think the drivers do sit a little bit lower just to improve downforce and weight distribution in these 2014-2015 cars, and indeed the most recent iteration of the Formula 1 car. The F1 season, the real-life F1 season, has been shaping up to be quite exciting. We just had the Monaco Grand Prix, and in case you're wondering, I did record all of those episodes from kind of Canada up to Austria way ahead of time, because I knew I'd be taking a fairly long spring break of sorts. And yeah, that's season is shaping up to be quite exciting. That's 153, yeah, we did spin, didn't we? Lewis Hamilton qualified, well, finished the race down in, I think, 7th or 8th place. I think it was 7th or 8th, I'm not sure. Yes, it would have been 7th or 8th. In the Monaco Grand Prix, following a disastrous qualifying, needless to say, we did a lot better than him in our Monaco race, finishing 2nd behind Mika Häkkinen, although we were aided by numerous crashes on the first lap. It truly was chaos on the streets of that sunny day in the French Riviera. Not so lucky at Silverstone. We got caught up behind the Jordans and ended up in a pretty straight fight between ourselves and Heinz Harald Frenzer. I think we won that. Won the battle, I mean. We didn't win the race. We lost the race by quite a margin. Unfortunately, Ralf Schumacher has been playing the old slowly catch the monkey game with us and closing up to us in the points. We were barnstorming away from him up until about Manicourt, where we trashed him in the opening few races of the season. 0.2 of a second up on our best time. Oh dear, no, getting very wide on the grass. Let's keep it on the straight and narrow. Let's not spin it. As we head into the final sector, that's 0.2 up on our previous time. Actually saying that, we're 0.6 of a second down on our best time, which really is quite poor as we get that very wrong, and once again don't hit the barrier. Oh, keeping it out of the back. No, not keeping it out of the barrier. Have we lost any of our wings? I don't think we have. That wasn't such a bad save after all. Hey, there's Häkkinen. Actually, that could be cool thought. Yeah, getting it very wrong, just getting it all crossed up and then kind of clouting the barrier ever so gently, spinning the car around, probably losing a bit of carbon fibre in the process, and carry on going as if nothing has happened. Now the pit entrance here is a bit clunky, just down the inside. There it is. Find the kind of the apron here, and then make sure we don't spin it on the way in. There are the lights. There's the pit limiter line. Let's brake down to the speed limit and head in a fairly civilized manner into the pits. Now, that's your track guide for the Hockenheim Grand Prix. I'm going to have a go at doing some more qualifying laps, and I'll see you when we're ready to start the race. Here we are, ready to begin the 1999 German Grand Prix. We qualified 7th in qualifying, and, well, once again, Ralf Schumacher qualified 5th, so pretty much even there. Now, I've realised that we are suffering with grip deficit in the 3rd sector, but everywhere else we are blindingly quick. We were matching Häkkinen in the first 2 sectors during qualifying, so yes, we do have some hope for the race. Now let's unpause the game and let's head on to the race. Now, budging forward a bit in our starting box, there is our adversary, Mr. Ralf Schumacher. Watch for the lights, and it's go, go, go! Now, doing our daredevil overtaking manoeuvres in this particular camera view is going to be a little bit more difficult because we can't actually see we collided with someone. It's going to be a little bit difficult because we can't see over our front wing. We're battling here. Watch the speed of the Williams come into its own as we hurtle down towards the first chicane. Can we handle Ralf Schumacher right off the bat? He's drinking left and right. There is the Stewart of Barrichello, brake at the 100. There's the Ferrari of Irvine. We've got a yellow flag already. Have we missed our opportunity? And we've spun it. We've spun it. Let's carry on. Let's carry. We're 5th. Looks like there's been a huge pile-up behind us. I'm not sure how that happened. That was a bitterly disappointing mistake from myself there. We could have had Schumacher. In fact, there is Ralf Schumacher 2 seconds down the road. Can we take him on these very, very long straights, braking hard into the second chicane? Actually braking a bit late. Let's run over the curb. That shouldn't have cost us too much time after that. Just making up time there. And yes, we do want to push as hard as we can, not doing anything too stupid. I mean, if you look at that last lap in Canada as a case in point, we tried to take Irvine for what probably wasn't even a podium position, I don't think, and ended up doing ourselves a lot of damage. We slipped down to 10th from a good, solid finishing position. Now here as well, Schumacher and the rest of our competitors up front have the edge. Can we go for a bit of a late braking manoeuvre into this corner? Well, sticking the nose up the inside, nothing much came of that, that's fine. Whoa, getting very sideways on the exit. Braking hard, we want to stay with him into this final complex because then we can use the speed of our Williams car. Let's not overdo it over this little crest, that gets very tricky sometimes. Feather the throttle, find the apex, getting very sideways. We've lost a hell of a lot of time getting there. So that's kind of four-wheel drifting across the curve. That's not done us any good at all. Bit of pedal confusion with my fingers there. Could have been a bit nasty now. Schumacher 1.6, we've gained 0.4 per second. Expect the times to tumble as we come into the chicane here. We can outdo him on the brakes and outdo him on speed, so looks like we're in with a good chance of taking this guy. And hard on the brakes. We were far too ambitious there. Far too greedy with the curve on that first lap, and that has cost us dear. Luckily we still are up on our starting position, which is always a positive, but we do want to make a podium for the first time in a while. Looks like we can have Schumacher under the braking. Yes, Schumacher sticking it on the outside, keeping it tidy. Everyone's kept it tidy. This is quite remarkable for the AI in this game, although that said, there was that bit of contact, I would assume, further back behind us on the first lap. Schumacher slipping away. Look how fast our car is. The frame rate is absolutely tanking for some reason. Doesn't usually do that, but unfortunately that's happening at a bit of a crucial moment here for us in the middle of this Grand Prix. Only 4 laps in this quick race because the circuit is so long. It's almost 2 minutes in terms of time. And yeah, we can probably pull a bit of a margin running into this third sector, and we've gone very wide there. We can't actually pull a margin because that was a silly driving error for me. Keep it tidy in this first very tight corner on the track. Oh, Schumacher coming through. We got a bit of a tank slap on. We shut the door in his face. That was probably a little bit cheeky from me there, though I couldn't really do much about it. Find the apex. There it is. This is a titanic championship battle as we approach the halfway point of the 1999 Formula 1 season. Going defensive into turn 1, though it looks like he's slipping away. Now he's trying to have a look on the outside. He's not going to find any space there. There's a lethal gravel trap. You get onto that and your car will spin. 4th place here at the Hockenheim ring. Schumacher has slipped back from his original starting position. We, however, have done quite well. Braking hard into the first chicane. Don't take too much curb, that's what cost us the first time. And here we see the speed of the Williams building. 160, 170, 180 miles an hour. We could hit 190 by the time the chicane approaches. 300, 200, 191, there we go, and hit the brakes, braking a bit late as we dare. Find the apex, run onto that little bit of asphalt, and see what that's doing. Ralf Schumacher 1 second behind. Michael Schumacher, his brother, 7-time Formula 1 World Champion. That's 1 second for every World Championship, 7 seconds ahead there. Find the braking point. Slow it down gradually. We took far too much curve there. I was going to accelerate, but then we would have spun. So just keep the back end under control. Don't get too greedy. We learned our lesson the hard way on the very opening lap. There's sector 3. We've got a yellow flag up ahead. I don't know if that's behind or... Oh, yes it is. We've got a car that's Mika Häkkinen, and Häkkinen is out of the race. Mika Häkkinen will not finish the German Grand Prix, but that's good for us because it means we have inherited... Well, it's still saying 4th, but apparently we should be in 3rd. That has happened before. I think it should update at some point. Yes, there we go, 3rd place. That is a podium position for us here at Hockenheim. If we can hold off Ralf Schumacher. Schumacher is on a charge. And Michael Schumacher, his brother, has gained an extra second. what can we do from here? Are there going to be any further reliability issues ahead of us in the pack? Let's hope so, but let's find out. Once again, hurtling into the first chicane here. Keeping everything nice and tidy. Looking good. And this very boring long straight here. The reason why the Hockenheim ring was reconstructed and made a lot shorter is because, well, Bernie Eccleston couldn't get enough money from the limited number of seats that there were here scattered throughout the forest around the circuit. You can see only a few grandstands, but in the arena complex, as it were, there are loads and loads of places for fans to sit, so that was part of the reason, although Formula 1 these days doesn't really take into account heritage and prestige, and losing this really long loop through the forest was quite sad in 2002. And, you know, I just wish they'd pay more attention to the heart and soul of Formula 1 rather than turning it into a big sort of motorised circus with lots of pomp and flair, and maybe focus a bit more on the down-to-earth stuff, the stuff that really matters. Breaking far too hard into that. You know, like history. I mean, if you look at how far Formula 1 has come in terms of safety and technology and all that kind of thing, it seems a shame to lose its roots. And I think many of the fans would agree, as we have a driver taking the checkered flag. I can't really concentrate on the moment. But here we come, round the final corner. Schumacher breathing down our neck. We take the final podium position. That was going to be close. David Coulthard in the McLaren wins with an average speed of 137 miles an hour, one of the fastest average speeds on this circuit. Anyway, that brings an end to that race, and I do hope you enjoy it as the frame rate tanks once again. And join me next time. I think it's Hungary or Belgium, I can't quite remember. But wherever we are in this exotic Formula 1 circus, I do hope you enjoy me, and I hope you've enjoyed the season so far. But in the meantime, my name is Fritz, and I will of course see you next time.